Welcome to Quick Hits, brought to you by Dental Peers. I am Sean Peers, your host, president and CEO of Dental Peers, and I'm really excited to be back with you today to bring you some great, useful information in the world of financial planning for dentists. And I am joined by two guests who are, well, let's just say they're extremely knowledgeable in that area because that's what they do. They work as independent certified financial planners and tax experts, specializing in working with the dental community. So I am joined by Amy Tom, who is the president, CEO, I guess, of their company, and also her partner, Tara Wang. Why don't you guys say hello to everybody?
Hello.
Hello. Hi.
All right, so there's so much information that can be covered when it comes to making sure that we're doing our financial planning and our tax planning in a proper way. We could spend hours, I know, on that, and this is Quick Hits. We only have 15 minutes or so, so we're gonna dive right in there. And I want to get a little bit of a sense, if you can share it with me, when you're looking at trying to help dentists in this area, what are some good strategies for them to be able to really look at protecting their wealth and saving their money and using their corporate status, those sort of things? How do you approach that when a dentist comes to you with some questions for help?
So there are three types of products that we would start considering when incorporating. These plans are usually used to help business owners to save taxes overall. And now we all know that in Canada, we are on a 2 tax tier system. So 1.5% at a corporate level for corporation income under $500,000 and a 52% around there for on a personal level. And of course, based on those percentages right now, everyone's trying to think, okay, how do I use my after-tax dollars from the corporation rather than my personal income, because there will be more money to invest by using their after-tax dollars from the corporation. So that just means that fewer tax dollars is used to pay for the tax, meaning more money is to work for the corporation. And many is also wondering, then how can we avoid trapping that after tax dollar in the corporation and take it out free in order to fund their retirement? So there's actually 3 planning strategies that we do talk with our clients to answer this $1 million question. The first one is the executive health plan. The second one is corporate insured retirement planning. And lastly, the immediate financing arrangements.
Okay, so how can we elaborate on any of those? Like if we wanted to attack one of them, what would be sort of our first target to go after?
I would suggest to go with executive health plan first.
Okay.
Yeah, when it first incorporated.
Okay. So talk to me about an executive health plan. What's that all about, and how does that benefit the dentist?
Yeah, so executive health plan is actually a solution for your business that will covers the shareholder in event of a critical illness. And this plan allows you to own this critical illness policy basically jointly together with your corporation. Now, the corporation pays the disbursement for the critical illness benefit and the death benefit of a desired coverage period and the coverage amount, the coverage amount. And then the shareholder pays the disbursement for the health benefit. And in an event of a critical illness of the shareholder, then the corporation can use the tax-free benefits to keep the company's financial on track, to continue paying your employees, to pay up the debt, your suppliers and such.
Okay. And now, is this something that, that maybe is best for older dentists, or is it something that younger dentists should start doing as soon as they're able to participate in a plan like this? What's the best timing for that?
The best timing that we would usually suggest is, assuming when they incorporate. So after they graduate, maybe they work for a few years as an associate and then start incorporating maybe early 30s, or mid 30s kind of thing. And that's when we would suggest to them to start considering this because as previously mentioned, this premium payment is divided among a shareholder and the corporation. And to get the most tax saving out of it, obviously you want the corporation to pay more than the shareholder themselves, right? So we actually did a calculation based on the 30-year-old male that they can save up to 28% of taxes if they start having this plan at 30-year-old for have a coverage of 100,000.
But of course, now we have to be mindful that obviously when we're looking at dentists, more and more of them are graduating that are women. I mean, the women are outnumbering the men in the dental schools.
Right.
Does it make a change in terms of your planning if it's a male client versus a female client?
No, it does not, because all insurance premiums are based on your age and of course your health, right? So the healthier you are, the earlier you buy, the lower your premiums will be. So whether it's a male or a female, the premiums are still calculated based on gender and lifestyle and your medical conditions. However, as an overall page, the younger you are, the cheaper the premiums will be.
Excellent. I mean, that sounds like how much money, generally speaking, do we wind up talking about when we're looking at savings for some of these programs?
Well, before I get to that, I do wanted to kind of say, like, then how do we get these monies out, for example, right?
Okay.
As I guess as the savings, because essentially this plan, yes, if you're diagnosed with critical illness, it pays you the coverage amount that you're paying. But what if you pass away, but you never claimed against it? Or what if you want to cancel the policy and take the money out? Then the numbers that we're talking about there, right? So if a dentist do pass away, the dental corporation will receive all the premiums paid by both the corporation and the shareholder, all back tax-free to the corporation. And if a claim is made in event of an illness of the shareholder, then the dental corporation will receive the tax-free critical illness benefits. And lastly, if the client remains healthy and a claim is, say, never made on the policy, then the dentist, right, themselves, the shareholder, is able to receive all the premiums paid tax-free to him personally. And I did mention that this could, by doing this strategy or by having this plan in place, is that you could save up to 28% of tax in comparison to getting the money through the corporation paying you dividends.
So whether it's, the fingers crossed, the one we always want, the dentist has a nice, long, healthy life, and,
right.
and this saves them that 28% that they can put towards this part of their retirement plan, or give them some peace of mind in the event that, they unfortunately predecease other family members, and they know that they've got that much more in the nest egg for their family members to be able to draw on and feel that much more confident that they've really looked after them well. I guess that's the bottom line, right?
Yes, that's the bottom line. And it's also a good way to help you diversify your investment while at the same time you have a critical illness protection in place.
Yeah. So now, is there a particular way you like to shape these plans or anything like that? I mean, obviously, this is something, as you've said, we want the people to maybe be able to use be in a position financially where they can use their corporation to their advantage. If they're at a point in their lives where they're drawing out money just as quickly, it may not be beneficial to be looking at doing things through a corporate entity. But when we're setting stuff up, obviously we assess that. And then is this sort of like a standard thing that you would recommend for most people when you're doing some financial planning for them then?
Well, for this plan, obviously, to qualify, you will have to have a corporation, right? Because it's paid for the corporation, and it's actually a great a way to save up your money, to get the money out tax-free from your corporation by paying that using the more after corporate tax money to fund a critical illness policy, basically for the benefit of the shareholder and their family.
Thanks so much for sharing that. I mean, these executive health plans do sound like a really great vehicle that a lot of dentists should be looking into if they haven't already. And, just wondering if you have any sort of closing thoughts, either yourself or Amy, in terms of how to really make these work effectively for the dental community.
Yes, to get this policy is not only looking at our medical history. they will ask a lot of things about our family history. For example, if a lady want to buy the critical illness, a lady dentist, but then the family have breast cancer, the mother has breast cancer, there will be a rating for 25% to 50%. You know, if they have two persons who have cancer in the family, they might be even declined. Okay,
Right.
for family history who have colon cancer, prostate cancer, they also affect the policy. You know, they might be rated, you know, or even declined. So this is why I always recommend my client, when you are healthy, when your family history is good, why don't you think about it now? The insurance, one thing we have to pay attention is not what you want, where you want, how you can afford it. They have to see if the insurance company will accept us, you know. So this is why when we come to critical illness, this is something that we have to look after, and we can take care of ourselves, but we from the family history is a little bit called uncontrollable, like we cannot control. And then this is why the earlier you get, this is a control factor, and then you know that you definitely can get it now.
And I mean, that's going to be a factor whether we're setting up these sort of plans in our through our corporate entity or just outside of a corporate structure. I mean, our health history becomes relevant. I mean, that's just the reality, right?
Yes, it's a reality, but this is such a good strategy. People like it, but I have clients who like it, but then unfortunately, the family history and the medical history not allow him to get this. Right? So
Yeah.
this is why I always recommend my client to look at it when your health is good and the medical history is good and the family history is clear.
But I'm sure, like, when with something we can talk about at other times, perhaps in a future Quick Hits edition, the idea being that, well, unfortunately, if this one isn't a vehicle for you because of problems with family history, we'll look for other vehicles to be able to help them with tax planning, right?
Yes.
Our creativity knows no limits on these fronts. So Amy, Tero, I'd really like to thank you both for joining us today. That's a lot of great and useful information that we can share with the dental community to let them know that there are some great vehicles out there that can help them to make sure that they are saving as much of their hard-earned money for their own peace of mind and for the peace of mind of their families as time goes by. So really appreciate it. If any of our members had any questions to try to learn more about some of these vehicles or wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
You can call us, you know, and or send us an email, right? And so this is always, we are very quick to respond, you know. Our number is 647-833-2782.
And if there's an email address?
Yeah, and the email address is Amy Tong, AMYTONG @atfg.ca. I hope I can share the idea how to save the 28% tax for the client through the the executive health plan.
I mean, that sounds like a great, I think, who wouldn't want to save that 28%, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us. I'm sure that there's a lot of other great tips that our members will be looking forward to hearing further from you guys on in a further edition. But for now, we'll wrap it up. Thanks everyone for joining us on this edition of Quick Hits, and we look forward to having you join us at a future edition coming to you real soon. Thanks everyone, and take care.